Imagine walking on a dark forest path. The shadows are thick, and you can barely see ahead. In your hand, you hold a lantern. Its light doesn't show the whole journey, but it helps you see the next step. That lantern is integrity. It's what guides us when things get unclear. But here's something to think about. Is your lantern burning brightly, or is it flickering, about to go out? Today, we're talking about integrity, not just as a value, but as a way of life. Why does it matter? How does it shape who we are? And how can we make it a part of everything we do? Let's dive in. Integrity is about being whole, consistent, and true to your values. It means being the same person whether people are watching or not. But let's be honest, how often do we compromise? How often do we make small choices that don't align with what we believe, just because it's easier? Here's a simple way to think about it. Integrity is like a lantern. Every time you act with honesty or stay true to your values, you add oil to the lamp, keeping it bright. But when you lie, break a promise, or cut corners, it's like draining that oil. Ask yourself, how bright is your lantern right now? I want to share a story. It's about a young boy named Covey and a lantern. In a quiet mountain village, there was a temple with a sacred lantern. Every night, it was lit to guide travelers during storms. One evening, a powerful storm hit the village. The monk in charge handed the lantern to Covey, his apprentice, and said, "Take care of this." As the storm raged on, Covey noticed the oil in the lantern was running low. He thought about borrowing oil from the villagers. It would have been easy, just a little bit, and no one would even notice. But then he remembered his teacher's words, "A lantern lit with stolen oil can never truly guide the way." So, Covey stayed awake all night, protecting the flame from the wind and rain. By morning, the storm had passed, and the lantern was still lit, though it was barely flickering. When the monk returned, he smiled and said, "You've kept the light alive, not just in the lantern, but in yourself." This story reminds us that doing the right thing is often harder, but it's always worth it. It's what keeps our inner light burning. Now, how do we make integrity a part of our everyday lives? Here are 4 simple steps. 1. Know your values. Take a moment to ask yourself, what do I stand for? Is it honesty, kindness, or fairness? Write these down. They're your foundation. 2. Be honest in small ways. Start with little things. If you make a mistake, admit it. If you get too much change at the store, give it back. These small actions add oil to your lantern. 3. Choose the harder right. When faced with a tough choice, ask, what would the best version of me do? Integrity often means choosing what's right over what's easy. 4. Reflect regularly. At the end of each day, think about your actions. Did they match your values? If not, how can you do better tomorrow? Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about striving to live in alignment with your values, one choice at a time. Here's a question for you. What's one thing you can do today to live with more integrity? Maybe it's keeping a promise, owning up to a mistake, or making a tough but honest decision. As the Buddha said, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, a wise person remains unshaken by praise or blame. Let your integrity be that rock. Let it guide you like a lantern through life's storms. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more wisdom-filled stories and lessons. Let's walk this path of growth together.